last time I streamed, here, let me see if I can raise this up a little bit. There we go. Sorry. All right, there we go. Okay, so last week, when I streamed on this channel, I was talking about how I'm going to move to Alaska, right? After having a conversation with my friend Andre, he really got me thinking about things that I didn't really consider, and especially moving so far away from my daughters. So yeah, I decided to stay in Atlanta, and here's what happened. Like he asked me, how many clients are you actually dealing with right now? Like how many clients are you working with? How many are left? And I told him I don't know. I was like, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I was like, I'm very embarrassed to say I don't know because I just haven't looked at it. I was like, I haven't sat down and looked at it because I don't want to. I've been avoiding it. I don't want to. I don't want to see how many clients I'm down to. I'm scared. I was like, I don't want to see. I don't want to look at it. So I just haven't. And hey, what's up? From Tech Blogs from Texas. What's up? It's got to be hot in Texas. Holy cow, it's hot out there. Oh, that's why I'm wet. Now I'm talking about I'm slick, yo, because I just took a cold shower. I was out there. Hey, what's up, Sue? Watching from Korea. Wow. 안녕하세요. It's not I'm talking about. I'm international, baby. I'm international. I speak 한국말. Know what I'm saying? 한국말 is Korean for Korean. Anyways, let's see here. Bubbles. Wow, Bubbles and Biscuits from New York. Look at this. Look at this, man. I knew it. I knew it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, sorry guys. But yeah, I was out there with my dogs earlier. Got them fed and then mowed the lawn, both front and back. Yeah, and I got some rifle practice. My air rifle. Started practicing my targets out there. Yeah, June is staying. Oh yeah, yeah, Claire. So I thought you said slaying because I was, man. I was fucking slaying this morning, man. Shoot, one thing after another. I got 2 loads of laundry done. You know what I'm saying? My grasses mowed. I mowed the lawn. It got some time. I took my bow. I was gonna take my bow out there, but like I said, it's just too hot, man. Too hot. The heat changes me, man. Heat like changes my personality, man. I become like irritable. Hey, what's up, Denise? How are you, Denise? Almodovar, Almodovar, Almodovar. Okay. Hi, Denise. So yeah. Anyways, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, that's right. That's why I took a cold shower and it's about to rain. I'm checking the weather because it looks like there's a hurricane. Hold on one second. What's the name of that hurricane? Hurricane in Florida. Let me see. But anyway, there's a hurricane, I think Kent or something like that, right? Hurricane Kent or Fred. No, is it Fred? Yes, Fred. Okay, so there's a hurricane down in the Gulf coming up to the Florida, and it's gonna rain later. And so I'm thinking like tomorrow I'm gonna go squirrel hunting for the first time in my life, and with my air rifle, which is why I was out there practicing. Oh man, it feels so good, man. When you hit that target, ting, and it spins. Oh, anyways, yes, but it looks like I'm gonna be rained on tomorrow. Holy cow! I went to Abbott's Bridge on the Chattahoochee River, and I tried to do some fishing after work. I got off of work. I had my fishing gear in my car, so I stopped by there because there was traffic going home anyways, and there was like a halfway point to go on the way home. So I would stop by Abbott's Bridge, and it was around 6 p.m. And trying to do some trout fishing. My line got caught up several times. I had to cut it at one point, and then set up another lure, and then I was walking to another side. I was like, this is a bad spot. So I was trying to find another spot, and it was muddy and slick. I slipped, dude. I slipped. I got like, oh, you see that bruise right there? Oh my God, look at that. I slipped. The hook went around and hooked my thumb, and I fell. I got this nasty bruise right here. Look at that. Oh, you see that? Oh my God. Oh my, I ate it, dude. I fucking ate it. Bam! I was like, oh shit. And there's this old man there with his little dog looking at me like I ruined his day or something. I was just like he looked at me like he was irritated at me. I was like, dude, I just fucking ate it, dude. I just busted my ass in my elbow and I got a fucking hook in my thumb right now. Like, give me a break. Like I wanted this to happen. Anyways, That was just a couple days ago. So I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to be out there in the rain again. Because yeah, the rain and the heat, man, changes things, and I become irritable, man. I was upset, I was angry, I was in pain. I was like, "Fuck, man." Anyways, so yes, I don't know, but I think I'm still gonna go out there because I Googled it, and it says that squirrels are still active in the rain because they're wild animals and they're used to the rain. As long as there's no high winds or thunder, they should be out foraging and stuff. So I'm gonna go out there tomorrow. Even if I don't catch a squirrel, I might see a family of boar. I'm gonna take my bow out there with me because I saw a family of boar last week when I was out there. Oh, it was like I was so excited I was shaking. I had my binoculars, I was looking at them. Too huge. I thought they were cows from where I was so far away, but I was like, no, they're too low to the ground. But they're huge. I was like, that's not a cow. I looked and it's two huge boars, and then there's little piglets with them. And so I was like, oh my God, I didn't have my bow or anything because it's not a season yet. Nothing's in season. So I was just out there scouting with my dogs. I had my fishing pole, you know. Yeah, I should have just freaking try to cast it. You know what I'm saying? Catch myself a boar with a spinner, spinner rod. Anyways, yeah, so maybe I'll see some boar, and as long as it's small game season, I can. Why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about? I was talking about staying in Georgia and how that happened. Hold on one second. Sorry, guys. Let me see here. Let's see. Claire says you just expect typos from me. No, I read typos fluently. You know. Helen Daniels. Hey June. Hey, what's up, Helen? Did you get my email this morning? I'm sorry. I know I said I was gonna. Things been crazy. Things been crazy busy for me. So I'm sorry, but hey, at least I emailed it to you. Anybody want a book that's missing the front cover? I had to rip the front cover off my book, and because I was gonna mail it to the UK. Turns out, even if you're just mailing just an envelope to the UK, it's gonna cost like a couple $100. So it's like, ooh, not in my budget right now. You give me some time, what I'm saying? Give me some time, and then once you know what though? I was actually thinking about it and kind of struggling these days a little bit recently. I was kind of falling behind on my child support payment and stuff, and it was like really like eating away at me and stuff. But I was like, wow. The weird thing is, I felt more uncomfortable and more anxiety when I had plenty of money in my account and I was working so much and bills were no longer a problem, and I just, whatever, pay the bills, and buy a new bow if I want. But I never really had time and I never had energy. Also, I was just so run down, working all the time, but I had plenty of money. And the weird thing is, um, now that I fired half my client, I'm down to 24. Now I know how many clients I have. 24 clients, 36 dogs. Thank you, Andre. Um, but before, when I had like 40 clients, over 40 clients, and money was no longer, something I worried about. Weird thing is, I kind of felt anxious, like the rug was going to be pulled out from under me or something. Like this was going to be taken away or gone or something. Maybe that's that fear I had, that inner fear I had, like, oh, this is not going to last. Maybe that's what made me self-sabotage and act in such a self-destructive way and fired all my clients and rudely. Some of them I cussed them out. Um, and and they didn't deserve it. I thought they did at the time, but no, nobody deserves that. But anyways, I realized, like, why do I feel weirdly comfortable, you know prioritizing, okay, this bill, I need to pay this bill or they're going to kick us out. I gotta pay this bill now or they're going to turn the lights off. So I just paid my electricity bill, like, and like, I don't know, for some reason, I feel more comfortable like in survival mode. And I was like thinking, maybe it's because my whole life I've been in survival mode, you know? And starting from when I was a little kid in elementary school, calling the utility companies for my parents because they didn't speak English well, asking for more time to pay the bills and stuff like that, and letting them know we're trying hard, please don't turn off the lights, and it's like ever since I was a kid, I've been in survival mode. And I think maybe that's why I'm more comfortable in survival mode for some reason. Like, I don't know, like, this for me feels more comfortable. I feel at home here in survival mode. You know what I'm saying? Like before when I was working so much and I had I had plenty of money. I don't know, I felt uneasy all the time, like just, like what do I do with this money? Like I don't even know how to invest it. I don't know what to do. Like I don't, I put like $100 in like let's say it's only down to 100 because I pulled out of it because I needed it. Anyways, um, but I put some money away in savings account, but even then I was like, I don't know what that's doing. I don't know what to do with money. Like I read a book called I Will Teach You to Be Rich by what was his name? I'll look it up for you. The book is called I Will Teach You to Be Rich. With the book title like that, why wouldn't I grab it? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't I take a look? This book says I will teach you to be rich. Like, okay, let me learn, right? What's his name? By Ramit Sethi. By Ramit Sethi. And I really like that book and everything, but I mean, it was just all over my head and stuff. And I was just like, I don't know. I did get really one really good takeaway I got from it was don't trust the experts. He was talking about the sommeliers, the wine experts. They take a sip and they'll tell you what year, where, what region, what kind, what's in it. Oh, that's currant and blackberries, and they take a sip and they know. I take a sip and it's like, that's wine. You know what I'm saying? Give me some more. I don't care. But he talked about how this professor set up this experiment, right? And he invited all the top sommeliers in the world to come and taste this wine, right? And at first it was this white wine. And they tasted the wine. And they described it in all the ways you would describe white wine. Oh, that's light, fruity, fragrant. And then they invited him back the next day to taste red wine. Only it wasn't red wine. It was the same wine, the white wine they gave him the day before, but they put red food coloring in it to make it look like red wine. So now these sommeliers, these experts, take a sip of the red wine, what they think is red wine, and they describe it the way that's earthy, woody. Oh, like what? That was the same wine you drank yesterday, bro. When that study came out, it really disrupted the wine industry. And the funny thing is, the professor retired and he now grows wine. He grows grapes. He has a vineyard. He started his own wine because the professor realized, holy shit, it's all just what do they call that? Shoot, what do they call that? Goat and pony show? No, it's not a goat and pony show. Um, the dog and pony show. I don't know, but anyways, it's all just a facade. It's all there's just it's salesmanship. So he was saying these experts, these quote unquote experts who we think are experts, don't trust them. I have a real life example of that. One of my clients, who is not my client anymore because the dog got old and passed away. So that was before I went on my firing spree. But anyways, her neighbor who lives behind her, their house, I think she said, I'm not good with numbers, so I'll just, the best I can remember. Something like their house is worth like 3 point something million, right? They have it on the market for 4 point something million. They owe 6 million. Like it was like that. They bought it. They back in the 80s when she bought her home, and back then it was only like 300 something thousand, and the value's been going up, skyrocketing. So she's like, this is the best investment I've ever made. She's sitting on like a 2 point something million-dollar home, and she only bought it for a few hundred thousand back in the 80s. Anyways, so she's sitting on a lot of equity, right? And she's saying that with them though, they owe 6 million on that house. How? When they've been living in it since the 80s, right? They're trying to sell it for 4, trying to get as much as they can from it to try to recoup, try to pay off this debt. But it only is worth like 3 at the most. It's worth 3 point something million. So it's just been sitting on the market. They can't sell the house. They're in debt. They're going further and further upside down. Why? Because she's saying that they live in this nice neighborhood. There's a country club there. So to be a member of the country club, you got to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, right? And she's like, I don't play golf. I don't need to go to the country club. So she's not a member. She lives there, but she doesn't pay the member. She doesn't go to the country club. And she's saying like, when he pulls up, you can't just drive up in anything. You got to drive up in a nice car, right? People are looking at you and judging you and comparing you, right? So he's always getting the newest car, leasing the newest, luxury car, right? But then when you step out of your car, you can't just look like anything. You can't look like June the Groomer. You can't pull that off. You know what I'm saying? You don't got these looks to just kind of pull off anything like June the Groomer. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, so he has to buy fancy clothes. That costs money, right? And all of this costs money to try to keep up with everybody, keep up this image. And now 30 years of this, and they're in big trouble. Guess what? He is a financial advisor. And I won't say the name of the company that he's a financial advisor for. And she said anybody that invests with their money with him and trusts their money with him is an idiot because he's an idiot. And he's an expert in his field. He's a financial advisor. Think about that. Think about that. Okay, let me see here. Let's see. Hi June. Janet Mathinson says, "Hi June. You were going to leave grooming? No, not grooming. I was going to leave Atlanta. I was going to move to Alaska with my parents because I messed things up here. I got emotional. I got angry. I was in a really bad relationship for 1 week, and I was already burned out and just dealing with a lot. I thought I found love, you know." Oh man, I was even singing in the car like an idiot. Oh my God. I was singing like, yeah, Ed Sheeran's I Found a Love for Me. I was singing in the car. I thought I was in love. Anyways, it hurt a lot. It hurt a lot, and I felt stupid. I felt foolish. I felt angry at myself for falling for someone's lies. And I even told her, like, dude, if I could just lie about who I am and what I've done, I'd be the perfect person too. I wouldn't be such a failure. You know what I'm saying? But at least I'm honest about my failures and how I messed up. Hey, because I am me, you know what I'm saying? And I don't have to show up as anyone else. I was like, if you have to be fake, do you even want what you're going after, what you get? Do you even want it if you have to be fake to get it? I was like, if I could just lie about myself, I'd have the perfect resume. Anybody could do that. Anyways, so then I took it out on the whole world. I actually just withdrew. I canceled. I took, deactivated my Facebook, Instagram, everything. I just got off social media. I wanted to hide from the world. I felt like everybody was a liar. I felt like everybody was manipulative. I thought everybody was her. And that's wrong. I know, but I was immature and I reacted very emotionally, and that's when I just started firing people. Just go fuck yourself. you know and then yeah, and I'll just be like, you don't take care of your dogs, I am covering up your fucking mess. You don't even fucking comb, you don't even tip me well. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I just be like, and some of the people were like, I can't believe this is you. And I would say like, yeah, sorry I hid it for so long, I was trying to be nice, but fuck that. And one lady was even kind enough to say, "It's okay, June. I understand you're going through a lot. Like just when you're feeling better, let us know." And what did I say? I was like, "Well, now that the fake nice mask has come off, and you've seen how I really am, it's gonna be awkward when I come over, isn't it? So no, I'm done." Oh man, she even gave me a chance, and I was like, "Go fuck yourself," because I'm an asshole. I'm an idiot, and I'm trying to work on that. But anyways. So that's what happened. And I wanted to run. I called my mom. I was like, hey, mom, I'm in trouble. I'm not making a lot of money anymore. I'm falling behind on my child support payments and everything. I was like, I have a hard time, because I'm taking care of all the bills right now while my mom's in Alaska, as far as the house bills, electricity, gas, all that stuff. And I was just like, oh man, I was like, I'm having a hard time. I was like, I think I would just want to wrap up and go to Alaska because I can groom dogs anywhere. I can groom dogs up there, just work up there. And I was like, I want to hunt. I want to hike in the mountains, camp, hunt, fish. I want to be outdoors. I was like, Alaska's the perfect place. And then my friend Andre, when I talked to him on the phone, he was like, I don't think that it's a good idea for you to go to Alaska, man. And I was like, why not? I fucked up here. And he was like, I know, but the first thing he brought up was my daughters. It's only a 4-hour drive to Tennessee to go see them in Alaska. And he was like, man, you know how it is to have a dad that just doesn't give a fuck. you know And he's like, it's so rare and so valuable these days to have a dad that actually gives a shit. He was like, and you really give a shit. He was like, they need you around, man. And I was like, right. I was like, but what if I can provide for them better if I go up there, in Alaska and start making better money and stuff. And he was like, it might take a while. And then we started talking. He was like, well, let's just look at it. How many clients are you actually dealing with right now? How many are you working with? How many number wise, how many clients are you down to? I was like, I don't know, bro. I haven't looked at it. And then he was like, well, we need to look at it. And I told him I'm embarrassed. But he was like, no, it's not nothing embarrassing about. It's normal, right? We don't want to deal with it, right? So he was like, but we have to, if you're gonna stay, we're gonna work this out. We have to look at the numbers. And I'm glad I did, because when I sat down and I looked at the numbers, I got 24 clients. I still got 24. I told him, I was like, I think if I had to guess, I got a handful left, maybe 12, 15 at the most. I got 24. I'm doing better than I thought. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, I'm not doing great, obviously, but better than I thought. And 24 is enough. And I counted the dogs. I got 36 dogs. And I could only groom one or two a day, right? Which is why I'm charging what I charge. Um, and so, yeah, the thing is, I'm doing much better than I thought, because I can only do one or two a day. I spread them out over the week. It's like, I mean, over the month, I'm good. And I got a new client this Monday, even a multi poo. And I think I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna work this out. And I was telling him, like, deep down, I think I would have always known that I ran from my problems again. That's what I do, you know? And I was like, I gotta stop. At 40 years old, I have to finally stop that. Stop running from my problems, stay and deal with it, right? Deal with the consequences, no matter how bad they are. It was my fault. I did it. I gotta deal with it, not just run away. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stay and I'm gonna work it out, man. I told my daughters, even, when my mom comes back, I'm gonna talk to her and, yeah, tell her sell the house, and take the money and go to Alaska. She's gonna need the money, her new life in Alaska. So sell this house, take it to Alaska, move. I'm gonna find a roommate, with for me and my three dogs, and that's it. Boom. And I'm gonna start rebuilding, reestablish myself here in Atlanta. And I think I'm gonna feel more proud of myself, even if I don't really do anything great, like, where society, the world recognizes me or anything. It would be something great for me to finally stop that cycle of running away from my problems, dealing with it, showing my daughters that it's never too late to change, right? It's never too late to recognize our flaws and the things that we don't like about ourselves, and address it. It's never too late to address it and try to change, even at 40 years old. And I was telling my daughters, like, I think I would feel more proud of myself if I do this, if I stay and work it out. And my daughter Ava, my 13-year-old, she was saying, like, yeah, I think so too. And Alaska's not off the table. You know what I'm saying? I can go there and retire like my parents. Alaska's not off the table. It's just for now. The timing of it. If I go now, it would be me running away from my problems. If I go later, after I've solved all this and I'm good now, I would feel better about going to Alaska. Let me see here. Cynthia Ingram says, my question too. Okay. Tech blogs, OMG, sorry to hear. Probably talking about when I crashed and I ate it right there. Um, let's see. June, leave the squirrels alone, please. Claire. The thing is, Claire, I'm probably not even going to catch any. Honestly, when I go out there, I'm probably not even going to catch any. It's not even about catching anything. I'm not. If I go out there into the forest and I come back out with a pocket full of experiences and memories and sights that I know that most people have never seen, that's good enough for me. That's a reward for me. But I do know that the seasons are in place for a reason. And right now, the reason why it is squirrel season is because when the squirrel population is not controlled, they do a lot of damage to the forest, because they are burrowing inside the trees or scratching the tree. It's like, so the trees die if there's too many of the squirrels. Like a certain amount, yes, we need them. Because they do control the forest too. It's a balance. That's what I learned. I never thought I was going to be a hunter, because I don't enjoy killing animals. Even the bass, even the fish that I caught, I felt like he was looking at me, and I felt so horrible. I felt so, oh man, I felt bad for that guy. But I was like, I need to eat, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, and I want to catch my food from now on if I can. You know, as much as I can, I want to catch my own food. So I feel that connection with the food that I eat. Because like Clay Hayes says, I doubt many people feel indebted to their Big Macs. You know what I'm saying? I eat a Big Mac. Oh, now I got to do something great with my life. No, I eat a Big Mac and I crash, dude. Go into a coma, food coma. It's like, yeah, so that's why, and also I learned in the hunting class and safety class, because you have to take a hunter safety course before you get a license. And I learned in that class that hunters are stewards of the forest. We're protectors of the balance. That, like we're Jedis. And we're risking our lives every time we go out there. It's scary. Because yeah, when I slipped and fell like that, had that old man not been there with his dog, yeah, he looked at me like I've ruined his day. He looked at me like he was all upset at me. But I was glad he was there just in case I fell and I was in a position where, maybe the hook, I couldn't get it out, or, maybe I break my leg or something, or sprain my ankle or something. And what if I really injured myself? At least he was there. You know what I'm saying? But in the forest, when you go into those wildlife management areas, usually there's no one in earshot, you know? So we're going out there, we're risking our lives, trying to protect the balance, you know, and be good stewards of the forest. So I think hunters get a bad rap. I really do. And even me, I thought hunters were killers, but no. People who will go out there because they enjoy killing animals and they do it for that reason, they're criminals, man. They're poachers. You know, a legal licensed hunter, usually most of them, grown men, will cry over their kill because it's so beautiful, and you just took the life of one of God's majestic creatures. And that's why these hunters, man, whenever I run into them, people are like, "Oh, be careful," They're the most helpful people I've ever met. This one guy, this one hunter, when I first went out there, I couldn't find my car. Luckily, he was there. He helped me find the trail back to go to my car. You know? It's like I feel safe around these hunters, man, because they are good people. They're fellow Jedis. I always know when I'm in the presence of a fellow Jedi master. You know what I'm saying? The force is strong with that one. The one that helped me find my trail back to my car. Denise says, I love your free nature attitude and how you will try new adventures. Just call me Denise. Okay. Just said, don't fuck up my name, you son of a. Just call me Denise. Don't even try it again. Like, oh man. Cassandra, good morning, Cassandra. How are you? Helen, oh great. I shall have a look. Thank you so much. Awesome. And Helen, I just saw a notification. You just replied back to my email. That's what I'm talking about. It's like I'm having a conversation with you here. You know what I'm saying? And you're off on your phone doing other things, replying back to emails and stuff. That's why we don't, you know what I'm saying? That's why our relationship can't move as fast as I would like. It's not progressing, Helen. It's your fault. I'm not even present when I'm having conversations with you like this. And I'm saying I'm talking about serious stuff in my life. I'm talking about falling as I was out there fishing and stuff. And you're on your phone emailing people back, even though it was me. I don't care. Pay attention. No, I was kidding. No, why? Why pay attention? Everything I say is pretty much useless, anyways. Let me see here. Helen, Dead Blogs. Guys, don't forget to give him a thumbs up. Oh, wow. Thank you. I was wondering why, like, I was getting a bunch of thumbs up. This never happened. I was like, wow, people really like hearing about how I hurt myself. Let me see. Claire says, you need to get that life work balance sorted. Yeah, that life work balance. Exactly. Because that's the thing. It's like, oh man, I was working and I had plenty of money, but I just did not. Oh man, like, you just feel so burned out. And I almost felt like, because again, I've always been in survival mode. I've always been in like, oh, how do I pay my next bill? Um, so having that, seeing my calendar just full and seeing my bank account, you know, always in the positive, like I kind of felt that secure, false sense of security. I kind of felt like I'm okay now. But really, I was just working way too hard. I was just starting to build up resentment towards people, towards my clients. You never want to do that. And I was emailing people at late at night, 10:30, 11 o'clock, because that's the only time I had to sit down and start looking at my calendar to, email the next person because I'm doing so much. And yeah, one person did email me back and saying, like, you know, you and instead of saying I'm sorry, I understand that that was late, and that's usually the only time I do have time. But next time I'll save it as a draft and send it in the morning. I could have responded that way, but the way I responded was that was the only. I'm doing a lot. And when another lady, when she told me that I text, a little, like maybe don't text so often, I asked her, "Am I texting you about your dinner plans? Am I texting you about your fucking weekend?" No. And if I was, I can understand you saying, "Hey, June, you're texting me too much." I'm texting you about your fucking dog. You know what I'm saying? And when we can groom them next. If you care about your dog, act like it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that was not a good response. That was the honest response. That's actually how I feel. But that's not the professional response, right? I should have said, I understand. I apologize. 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock is very late at night to email someone. You know, why the fuck you paying attention to the notifications at that time? Anyways. But yeah, I should have told her next time I'll save it in a draft and send it during normal business hours. That's what I could have said instead of behaving so defensively. And I thought I was so witty. Am I texting you about your dinner plans? Texting you about your dog. Anyways, yeah. Here's the thing. Dr. Wayne Dyer says whenever you have a choice to be right or to be kind, always choose kind. And turns out we always have a choice. It just doesn't seem like it all the time, but we always have a choice. And I chose wrong. I chose the wrong thing. I chose to try to prove myself right. I didn't choose kindness. And, that was my fault. But, anyways, yeah, remember that, guys. I'll try to remind myself of that as well. Whenever we have a choice to be kind or to be right, choose kind. Um, Buffy, what's up, Buffy? Buffy says, June, good day to you. You thought you found love in 1 week? June. Because love is an open door, right? Oh, by the way, I'm going to take voice lessons. Isn't that amazing? One of my clients is a voice coach, and she offered to give me some voice lessons. I was like, what? Yes. And she said she'll get me singing. I'm going to learn to sing. Anyways, yeah, isn't that amazing? Holy cow. Um, let's see here. Buffy, oh my gosh, my heart hurts for you, June. For you. She didn't say June. She just said my heart hurts for you. I've been burned trusting people too, having a big heart trying to help people, and it was all BS. Yeah, I don't like that. Anyways, Buffy, good advice from you, friend. I agree about your girls perhaps not feeling you care because you left. Been there, and it's devastating to feel abandoned. Yeah, but I was talking with my girls the whole time and explaining why I wanted to go to Alaska and stuff like that. I was also trying to talk my ex into moving up there too. But anyways, yeah, that was a tough sell. Um, Helen Daniels says, "Haha, I'm still listening to you. I can multitask." Nice, Helen. Buffy says, "I don't get when people get upset about late texts or emails. You control when you look at them." That's what I'm saying. I was like, "What the?" Claire, you need to see the red flags in a new or any relationship. When they introduce you to their kids too soon would be a huge red flag to me. Kids come first over ourselves, anyone, anything. Uh-huh, yeah. Yeah, like what was she doing having me with her kids? Like, yeah, when we first met. I mean, literally, I was a stranger, and I was alone in the room with her 3-year-old right here, and we were just talking. And I was telling him stories and listening to him. He loves to talk, and I was just listening to him, and just, wow, really, But what if I was different? What if I was not me? I was a like a real creep, not a creep that jokes around about being a creep, but like, what if I was a real creep? She wouldn't have known. I mean, yeah, that's a huge red flag. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Anyways, Claire says try clay pigeon shooting. Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. If I do, if I do hit a squirrel by accident, probably, I'm trying hard, and maybe the thing is, I noticed that yeah, when I really try to hit the target, I miss. But then when I'm kind of like, okay, I think that's it, and I just shoot a little more, kind of relaxed, boom, I hit the target. So, maybe I'll just be like, I don't care if I miss, and just hit, right? And then if I do hit a squirrel, um, you know, I think squirrels are so adorable, with their fluffy tails and everything. I don't want to kill a squirrel. That's the thing. It's like, but anything I take down out in the wild, I have to eat. I'm going to eat. That's why I don't want to kill a coyote. I'm hoping that coyotes don't try to attack me because I don't want to kill a coyote. Because if I kill a coyote, that means now I got to eat it, right? And I don't want to eat a coyote. You know, Look too much like dogs, and just I don't want to do it. So I'm hoping a coyote won't attack me. If they do, I'm hoping, just my presence will scare him off. I might just rip off my shirt, because I do have the body of Thor. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen Thor? Yeah, Marvel Endgame, the fat Thor. So I do have that body of Thor, right? So I'll just rip off my shirt, and then hopefully that will be enough to intimidate them off, because I don't want to kill them, but I will with my bare hands, like Samson style. You know what I'm saying? As long as I got my long hair. So my mom keeps trying to get me to cut my hair. She's like tried to cut it before as well when I'm not looking. She has too. When I was younger, I was growing my hair out, and while I was sleeping, I woke up. I was like, "What the?" She was cutting my hair in my sleep. The Delilah. You know what I'm saying? She's my freaking Delilah. You know. So yeah, I gotta watch her. I gotta watch her close, man. She doesn't want me to have all this strength. So yeah, my mom is my Delilah. She's like, Anyways, yeah, as long, but yeah, what I'm saying is, if I do catch a squirrel and I have to gut it and clean it, skin it, and then I'm going to try a dry age method I saw on YouTube where you dry age it in your fridge for a week, and then you cook it. Yeah, and all the prep that goes into it. Like when I eat it, knowing that I'm the one that took its life, seeing it out in the wild, living a happy life before I took it, all of this is going to make me feel a deep sense of responsibility for this life that I took, and it's going to make me feel it. And it happened with the fish too, the bass that I eat. I cooked the head, I sucked on the tail. I didn't want a single bit of that bass to go to waste, because I wanted to honor the life that I took, and it made me want to actually be a better person. And that's why I'm looking at everything differently. And it makes me want to have the courage to stay and deal with my problems here instead of running off to Alaska. Because that fish, that bass, that life that I took, it would be dishonoring him by living a life that is not according to what I know is best. What I know what would be the best thing for me to do, and not doing it, that would be dishonoring that life, the fish that I took. I would never feel that way about even a pub sub. Forget the Big Mac, that's unhealthy. A public sub with all the vegetables in it, kind of healthier, right? Even that, even a pub sub, I wouldn't feel indebted to the sub that I ate to live a better life. I get it. I understand now why we need to feel that connection to the food that we eat, because we have to understand what it takes. It takes the existence of another life to cease in order for our existence to continue. Even if you're eating plants, that plant was alive before you harvested it, and then you eat that plant, and you take in that life of that plant, and you have the nourishment to continue on. It's like, that's why farmers and I feel like they have that connection. They understand the importance of life, and why we should live the best life we can, you know, why we should do what we believe in our heart is right, because of the lives that have to be taken in order for our life to continue. We have to honor those lives. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's see here. Buffy, that's just sad that this relationship triggered you and brought out the beast. Yeah, the thing is, I was already burned out, and I have to recognize that. I thought I was just dealing with my depression, because I didn't feel the I didn't feel the energy or the excitement to do things. And I was just like, oh, and then, yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah. And then that relation, I thought I found a reason to keep working hard. Now I have this new family that I fell in love with. And so I was like, okay, this is why I need to keep working hard. And then when that was, no longer the case, I just felt like, fuck, am I doing this for? You know, I just, I just lost the will to keep. A lot of the clients that I fired, even, I would tell them the energy is just zapped from my body. I just don't have the energy to do this anymore for your dog. Like, I don't want to do it. And I would just pack up and leave, you know? Oh man. Anyways, not a good thing to do. If I could give you any advice, don't do what I did. Okay, try not to do what I do. I mean. That's why I'm sharing the stuff that I do, is because I'm not saying like, "Hey, look at me. Look at how awesome I am. Look at how awesome my life is." I'm trying to say, dude, don't. These are the things that I've done. Try not to do that. You know what I'm saying? Um, Oh, let's see. I missed all the juiciness, but hey, June, what's up? Naaman Ma, what's up, Naaman? Claire, the squirrels are safe if you can't find your car. PMSL. What's PMSL? Love ya. PMSL. What's PMSL? Let me search that. PMSL meaning. It's kind of exciting. Pissing myself laughing. Okay, okay. Pissing myself laughing. Okay. So yeah. The thing is, I met this guy named Overton in Tennessee, and we were talking and everything, and I was telling him how I'm really practicing my archery. I'm going out to there into the range, because I want to be a hunter. And I was like, but I don't want to hunt deer, because they're just so beautiful to me. I'm gonna go out during deer season, of course, but I'm looking for wild boar. You know, um, but anyways, I told him, like when I'm out there and I'm practicing, deer when I'm leaving, it's usually like as the sun's setting, when it's getting dark, and deer will be right there looking at me in the forest, in the trees. And I was like, they don't run away from me. And I even tell them, like, have a good evening, deer. You're so beautiful. Have a good night. And I was like, they don't feel scared of me. They don't run from me. I was like, I think they know, they can feel it, that I don't mean them any harm. And this guy Overton, he goes, no, they saw you practicing. Oh man, I was cracking up so hard. I was like, I had not considered that. I was like, that is actually the better possibility. They saw me practicing, and they said, yeah, we have nothing to worry about. This guy can't hit us. Oh man, as long as we stay still, he'll never hit us. If we move around, he might accidentally get us. Let's just look at him, stay still, because he's you saw him practice. Anyways, that guy was like 80 years old. Like, yeah, he was so witty. I could not keep up with him. Like, so witty. Oh my God. And I never laughed so much talking with someone. Okay, Cassandra says the situations we find ourselves in repeat themselves until we identify and complete that karmic cycle. I got a great example of that, and then I'll go ahead and end this because I don't want to take everybody's time. Okay, so while I was married, right? I was driving home one day, and my ex calls me, my wife at the time, right? When she used to act right, right? When she used to behave herself, right? And she used to not upset me so much. You know what I'm saying? That's when. Anyway, I'm sorry. That was a stupid joke. But anyways, she calls me on my way home, right? And she's upset. She's like, our car, because we had a black Acura, a really old one that she was driving, and she was like, our car got broken into again. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, I came out here and somebody went through our car again. It's like, it's probably the same kid coming and doing it every night, like almost every night. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, and, like we would we would forget to lock the door sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Because I lived in this neighborhood for like 30 years almost. And I mean, it's a safe neighborhood. So we never had to really remember to lock the doors. And for some reason, someone kept rummaging through our car. And I was so upset now. And when she was upset, she was so angry because you feel so violated. You feel like someone's invading your privacy and taking your stuff, you know? So I was like upset. And I was thinking like we need to put a camera there or something. You know, I'm thinking of ways to catch this person, right? Then I realized, oh, and I told my wife, I stopped like mid conversation. And I was like, I told my wife, like my ex now, but my wife at the time, I know why this is happening. And she goes, why? And I was like, back when I was 16 years old, I ran away from home and I ran with the wrong crew, with the wrong crowd. You know, these were like little wannabe gangsters, you know? And we were always broke and we were always like moving from one place to another, you know, finding a place to stay. Sometimes we would sleep in the car, you know, but then one night we went to a parking lot, an apartment complex parking lot, and we went through all the cars in the parking lot. Some of them had alarms, and so we would run. And then once the alarm went away and things died down, we would kind of sneak back. And yeah, it's like we would go through all the cars, take all the change. Sometimes we would find like, you know, a couple dollars and stuff. We'd take all of that out of their car. And then one of my friends even took someone's CD case. You know, back in the 90s, early 2000s, that was that was valuable. That was like a lost treasure, you know? Like if you anyways, yeah, someone they one of my the guys that I was running, I don't even want to say friends because they stole all my clothes from me too. So friends don't steal from each other, you know what I'm saying? So I thought they were my friends, but really they were just punks. But anyways, one of them stole a CD binder full of someone's favorite CDs. And yeah, we went to a gas station after that and just loaded up on hot dogs and all this stuff, just ate everything in there, right? And then, oh man. So yeah, and then I never really thought about that situation again after that. And it just hit me during that conversation. Like, holy cow, that's what I did. That's what I did. This is how I'm feeling right now. That's how I made other people feel when I was a kid, when I was 16 and I did that. And I was like, this is my fault. And she was like, how's this your fault? And I was like, no, trust me. This is the universe teaching me that this is what I did to others and this is how it feels. It's showing me. And I was like, and I feel really bad now. I feel terrible about what I did when I was younger. And I was like, man, you know, wow. And then it stopped. It never happened again. Isn't that crazy? And so I think you're right, Cassandra. Like lessons repeat themselves until we finally get the lesson, and then we move on to the next classroom. I guess we move on to the next grade, and then we have different tests, harder tests maybe, but only harder compared to the tests we used to have because we pass those tests and we grow. We're ready for the next grade. You know what I'm saying? We're ready for those more difficult tests. But yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, it never happened again. After I made that realization, this is what I did to others, and this is how I made others feel. And I don't like that, and I feel so bad now, and I really regret that I did that when I was a kid. And I wish I didn't do it now. You know, especially now that I know how it feels to do that to someone, and it stopped. It never happened again. Let me see here. Cassandra says, I've made a huge breakthrough and I have identified a pattern that has followed me to every job I've had. I am now beginning the process of clearing it, but it's been tough so far, but I can do this. I love that. We can do it. No matter how tough it gets, no matter how hard it is, as long as we have breath, as long as we have strength, we can do it, right? Or we can at least try, give it our best shot, you know? All right, Elmer Fudd, exactly. I am like Elmer Fudd out there. Holy shit. So like clunky and just falling over, you know. Good thing I don't have a real gun. I just have an air rifle, not a real gun, because I may not come back alive. You know what I'm saying? Shoot myself, you know. Anyways, I agree with your mom. She sounds a sound woman. Cutting my hair? Both of you. I gotta watch out for you, Claire. Shoot. All those typos. Anyways. Yeah, so I'll leave you guys with that. That's not that's where I'm in now. I don't want it to seem like I'm like a flip flopper. It's just that I think it's not only okay, but necessary to change your mind when new information is presented to you, right? If I believe something on Monday, and then this is from Dr. Wayne Dyer. If I believe something on Monday, and then on Wednesday, new information is presented to me that contradicts what I believe, then on Thursday, by Friday at the latest, I should have a new opinion about things, right? I should change my belief based on the new information that I've received, right? Maybe not by Thursday, maybe not the very next day, but I struggle with it. And then by Friday, I have a new opinion than I had on Monday, right? I can change my mind. So that I hope people don't think like, oh, he's just, back and forth, wishy-washy all the time. It's not that like that. I put a lot of thought into leaving. I had lots of justifications and reasons and excuses of why it was okay to move to Alaska. I put a lot of thought into it. But then presented with new information and new ideas to think about from my friend Andre and my daughters, conversations with them, I had a lot to consider, a lot to think about. And then I thought about it. I counted how many clients I actually still have, how many dogs I actually still groom. And then now I have a plan of moving forward, you know? And yeah, so I decided to stay. And I decided I'm gonna deal with this and I'm gonna be close to my daughters, and just really focus on my relationship with them. Because if you really think about it, I was trying to make such a big difference in the world. I really was. I thought that's how delusional I was. I was such an egomaniac that I thought that I was going to change the world for the better, right? Just because my presence here. You know what I'm saying? What an idiot. Because I realized no matter what kind of a difference I make in this world, no one's ever going to remember me. No one's going to give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Would anybody celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday if it wasn't on the calendar? Would anybody remember? Probably not. And do I think I'm ever going to do something that great to change the world? No. You know, does anybody remember Albert Einstein's birthday? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Like, does anybody remember Abraham Lincoln's vice president? I don't, right? I can look it up. I know. I can Google it. But I'm just saying, these great men all throughout history, you know, we don't really think about them much, do we? We don't really take time to feel grateful for the things that they've done for society and the changes that Henry Ford, nobody really takes time to say, oh man, whenever I drive my car, I appreciate what Henry Ford did back in the day. And, no, we don't give it a second thought. So why do I think that anything I do during my time here is going to be so great and special that people are going to ever give me a second thought when I die? The best that I can hope for is to make the biggest difference I can in my daughters' lives and really be present for them, check in with them, call them, have conversations with them, hours. We talk for hours sometimes. And I really get to know them, you know, and having them remember me when I die. That's the best I can hope for. Do I remember my great grandparents? I don't even know their names. Do I ever really stop to think about my grandparents? Sometimes I do. Yeah, my grandfather, who taught me hard lessons while teaching me what farming is really all about, sweat and labor, pain and misery. And then you get that reward, you get that payoff, you see the fruits of your labor. And it is so rewarding because it was so painful and difficult. And he taught me that. And I do thank him and remember him as often as I can. But really, I mean, I probably haven't given him a second thought since the last time I talked about him, you know? So that's the thing. It's like I don't even know his full name. I know him by Mr. Kim. And my grandfather on my dad's side is Mr. Yoon. That's all I know. I don't know their names, you know? So could I really hope for my grandkids to remember my names? My name, not my names. My name? I don't think so. The best I can hope for is that my daughters will think about me when I'm gone, and they'll remember me. And hopefully I'll have made the biggest impact possible in just their lives, right? Just like Seth Godin says, instead of trying to go out there and make a mediocre impact on the masses, find the smallest group possible and make the biggest impact there, you know? And it's like that is much more rewarding. And so I found the smallest group possible, my daughters and my small YouTube group here, you know? And that's it. That's good enough for me. And I'm gonna keep showing up and I'm gonna keep sharing and I'm gonna keep, engaging because this is what's important to me, making a big impact, the biggest impact that I possibly can on the smallest group possible, you know? And that's what it is. I keep saying I'm going to end it, but I got one more last idea. Seth Godin, he brought up the fact that the Beverly Hillbillies were topping the charts. And at the same time, back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, the Beverly Hillbillies were topping the charts, number one, number two, all the time, every year. At the same time, Star Trek got canceled in its third season due to low viewership. Now, fast forward to 2021, right? Does anybody talk about the Beverly Hillbillies? If I wasn't talking about them right now, I bet you could scan the entire world. Nobody's mentioning them except for me right now because this example. Nobody talks about the Beverly Hillbillies, right? They were topping the charts. They were number one, right? They were a fad. They're a trend, a gimmick. Who cares? They were good for a laugh. Star Trek, though, the few people that did watch it, it made such a big impact on them that now, fast forward to 2021, we got Trekkies. It's a whole subculture. You know what I'm saying? And we got remakes of old Star Trek movies. You know, that's the thing. And I really took that to heart when I listened to Seth Godin say that and give that example. Instead of getting a laugh from the masses, just to try to get popular, just for the numbers, the likes, who cares? Who gives a fuck about that? Sharing my struggles, my difficulties, my heartaches, and sharing what I'm doing now to get to work through it. Not just show my wins, my victories, and what I'm doing well, but also show my mistakes. When I accidentally shaved that shaved that patch on the dog's shoulder recently in one of my live streams. Show it, and let people know it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be a failure. God has not struck me down yet, you know? And maybe someone else who feels like a failure, and maybe someone who feels like they just can't get their life right no matter what they do, no matter how hard they work. It's just like the cards just aren't dealt in their favor. And they're just destined and doomed to live a life of misery and pain and just survival mode for the rest of their life. And they just want to give up sometimes because it gets so hard and so difficult and just feel like, what am I even doing this for? Maybe someone else who feels that way watches this or hears some things that I say, and maybe it gives them a reason to laugh because someone else is failing harder than them, and I'm still finding the humor in it, and I'm still making myself laugh about it, and I'm still going on, I'm moving on, I'm trying my best. And maybe that will inspire someone else to keep trying too, because yeah, there are a lot of people out there doing well, and I'm happy for them. I'm saying if someone's doing well, cheer them on. Be happy for them because life is not all great. So when it is great for someone, great, man, good for you, because I know how it can get, man, So yeah, it's like, I don't know. I feel like maybe there needs to be a YouTube channel out there like mine where someone's not saying, hey guys, look at me, today I'm going to do this and this and this, and I'm doing all great. Maybe there needs to be a YouTube channel like mine that says, hey guys, I fucked up again. Now I'm in real trouble. But this is what I'm going to do to try to work it out. I'm already covered in shit. Let's just stay and work it out, And I think maybe there needs to be more honest channels like this, and making just a real big impact on just a few people because there's not a lot of losers out there. I know that. There's just a handful of us. Let's get together and realize that it's okay to lose sometimes. It's okay to be a failure and try. The people who go out there and try things and fall flat on their face and fail, we are not the ones that who should be ashamed of ourselves. The people who point at us and laugh and they never actually try anything or put themselves out there or risk failing at anything or looking bad, embarrassing themselves, They should be ashamed of themselves. The people who point and laugh at us, they should be ashamed of themselves, not us, not the ones going out there and trying our best and failing. Well, at least we tried and we learned from the failure, and now we can go out and fail better. um, let's see here. Terry K from California. Silent listener, children grow up so quickly. Priorities change and are fluid. Take care and stay safe. Thank you, Terry. I really appreciate that. Happy Dog says, "You're not failing, brother." Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Well, yeah. Well, I am failing, but you know, the way they say you fail your way to success. They had a panel of billionaires one time. I can't. I've been looking for the YouTube clip, but I can't find it anymore. But they had it was an older interview that they had the panel of millionaires. I think it was millionaires, not billionaires. But anyways, there were seven of them. I think seven. Again, I'm bad with numbers, so I don't really remember numbers. I remember concepts and ideas, and that's why I can pull quotes out of my head. But numbers, numbers and science and stuff, just that's not how my brain works. But anyways, let's just say seven. Let's just say seven millionaires. And they asked them, on average, how many times have you failed? Or how many times have you failed your business? And they asked each of them, on average, it was like four or something like that. They failed. So some of them failed more, some of them failed less, but on average, it was like, four or five times they failed and then they started over and then they finally found a way to succeed. And I really thought that that was a great lesson that we all need to hear. Is that these millionaires, these self-made millionaires who finally made it and they finally created a business that worked, it took them four or five tries, you know? And that's okay. Let's see here. Agree. Social media is often a false narrative that makes you feel the truth is much worse than it actually is. Exactly. Cassandra says this little support group needs an official name. Nice, Cassandra. I love all your ideas. Seriously. So yeah, if you have an idea, toss it up. And the next time I stream, my next stream, which might be next weekend because I'm working all week and I have next weekend off. But yeah, when I stream again next weekend and check in with everyone, hopefully I won't be, dead somewhere or, in another relationship, in love. I'll stream next week. I'm in love, guys. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh no!" Like, no, for real this time. No, she's perfect, guys. Anyways, she had me meet her kids. Her kids love me. I met the perfect. Anyways, everybody's gonna be like, "Dude." Anyways, but yeah, when I stream next week to check in, if I do, I don't want to make any promises. But if I'm able to check in next week and do another live stream, yeah, I'll title it whatever name you come up with, Cassandra. Email me, junethegroomer@gmail.com, and make sure it's either your name Cassandra, so I recognize it, or on the subject line put like um, support group idea, support group name idea. That way I'll know which email to ignore because I feel bad ignoring all of them. I like to be selective sometimes. So that way, when I see that email come in from Cassandra saying, name ideas for the support group and everything, I hope it's long. I hope you put a lot of thought into it. You know what I'm saying? Like this really long email, and also share some of your life story. Open up so I can delete it. I'm not even gonna read it. I'm just gonna delete it. So that's cool, right? Uh, anyways, hope everybody has a great weekend. It's 1:30. Oh man, it's so hot though. I just don't want to go back outside, especially after I took that cold shower. But it's all good. It looks like it's gonna rain anyways. So what I might do is go out there and try to just get a few practice hours in before it starts raining. And then yeah, with my dogs. And then once it starts raining, I guess just come back and I can always practice in my room too, but it's different. Practicing in my backyard, because I do have a fake deer back there and that I shoot, and I have a target bag and I got targets in my room. But it's different. Practicing at home and going out to the range and practicing is just a different feel. It's a different motivation. It's a different focus. It's like I drove all the way out here. I'm gonna focus. In my backyard, and sometimes it's just I don't know. Like sometimes your mind can wander, and you're not. I don't know. It's just not the same motivation. So that's why, especially going to the indoor range here, it's like $10 per hour, which is totally worth it. But when I go to the indoor range, I really feel like I do a lot better because I can feel the eyes, people watching me and everything. It's just a different sensation. You know, it's a different motivation, it's a different feel. So yeah, that's why I like to go out to the archery range. Even though I can practice in my backyard. And it's fun for the dogs too, you know, to go out there and walk the trail with me. All right. Buffy, wishing evasion tactics for the squirrels tomorrow. Sorry. Yeah, Buffy. Okay, so next week, if I do stream and check back in there with everyone, I'll let you know if I actually caught a squirrel or not. And I'll be honest. I'll be honest. Caught a squirrel this big, dude. We were doing kung fu. Anyways, bye to all the, bye all. Have a fabulous weekend. Thanks, Claire. And yeah, everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. SR Senior Fly Girl says, "Hey there, for heaven's sake, don't give up. I have had a few businesses in my life. I've had I've had downtimes too, but you only fall if you quit. Burnout, bad love. Take a deep breath. You are great." Senior Fly Girl. Wow. That name is so fitting. I can see why you're so fly. Anyways, thank you for that. Hopefully, everybody has a great weekend. Maybe next week when I stream, we'll have a name for this little support group here. The Failures. How about that? The Failures Unite. No, that's not good. Um, anyways, see you guys.